Greetings once again, guys. Just got out of the brand new film, thanks to Disney and courtesy of Marvel Studios, and that is The Thunderbolts. It is an interesting film, and I'd say probably it is one of the better Marvel Studios films to come out in recent years. That is saying a lot. There's been a bit of a lull, I guess, when Disney's management was a little bit different, and they were trying to chase kind of content for Disney Plus. This kind of really does feel like the old kind of style. Fun fact, Thunderbolts with a asterisk at the end. This film actually isn't Thunderbolts, so kind of not really a surprise if you have been following the lead up to this, but just know that that is kind of a bit of a title in disguise. This is a different film, so you won't know until you watch it, and I won't spoil it for you, but just so you know, that title will change by the end of the film, and I just don't know with publicity in the future and with releases if they're going to actually rename the film totally, but the Thunderbolts name is not quite what you'd expect it to be, which is kind of a bit, not really a spoiler, but it is an incentive to watch this. It is something a little bit different that audiences might not totally expect, especially after seeing the trailers. It is an interesting film. It kind of is a bit of a team-up movie, a kind of a band of a motley crew, essentially, a bit like a Dirty Dozen, but only there's obviously less of them. They all got their flaws, but they essentially come together and team up for a task. It is a bit like a Prison Break movie in some moments. It is a bit of a heist movie in others, but it is that kind of movie that Marvel Studios does so well, and that's just a bunch of flawed characters with their own kind of problems getting together to kind of solve a task, basically, and I won't reveal what that task actually is without spoiling details, but it is a fun movie. It's very enjoyable. There are a few highlights in this film, and it really does centre very much around the character of Yelena, and that is played by the remarkable actress Florence Pugh. She is an absolute star. She is magic on screen with any other movies that you've seen her in, but she's just got this really wonderful ability to convey emotion on screen that I was really impressed with, and it's no strange feat to see her really as at the forefront of this film. It's really essential what she does with this film, and she's the driving force in it, and just watching her performance is worth the price of admission. She's that good in it. I think she's spectacular. Also, Sebastian Stan returns in this, in the role of Bucky and the Winter Soldier. He's always great in these, and he just adds a bit of that familiar level to it. Probably not in it enough in some levels, but he's in it quite a bit. But he's great in it, and it kind of makes you feel like it's a Marvel Studios film once again, with seeing his face and intermingled with some of the other characters that kind of have appeared more sporadically in other projects. It is a bit of a motley crew, as I said, but Bucky and Sebastian Stan really kind of add that level. But opposite Yelena, like, it's just a kind of a good combination with that. Speaking of combinations and fantastic chemistry, in the role of the Red Guardian, David Harbour returns. He's probably the star of the film in many ways, with his comic timing and just his kind of ridiculous kind of moments on screen. I think it's really great to see him, and just that chemistry opposite Florence Pugh. There's some sequences with those two in their conversations and dialogue, whether they're fighting or whether they're kind of having emotional moments. It is just fantastic to see that combination on screen. They're just really great, and I think that's a lot to do with Florence Pugh's performance, but also David Harbour's comic timing. It's really great to see those two on screen together, and that's just that dynamic. They carry it forth from the Black Widow movie, and they've kind of bring it into this, and they've just kind of building on that foundation that they set in that previous film. But they're probably the three highlights in this. Wyatt Russell returns in this. You might not have seen him if you just kind of stuck to the movies. He does appear in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that Disney Plus TV series. And fun fact, Wyatt Russell is actually the son of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, just in case you didn't know. But he plays the role of US agent, which is kind of the anointed Captain America from the government. He kind of comes into this, and his name is John Walker. That's the character. he is a very unlikable character. So if Wyatt Russell was going for a really unlikable character, he succeeds in it. He just is not that likable in it. But many moments where you're just like, you really just don't enjoy his kind of persona. But really, he's doing a good job as a kind of this really anti-hero kind of heel character, and it kind of does provide an interesting foil. Not as wonderful as the other previous three that I mentioned, but he offers, he does the job that he's been hired to do. So let's just say that. On the other side, there is the introduction in the trailers, if you have seen it, of a character who's known as the Sentry. He's kind of a bit like a Superman character in the comics, but a little bit more of an unsavory one. He's got a bit of a dark side to him in the comics as well. From the trailers, I think you might be a little bit disappointed by seeing what the depiction is. It's kind of a little bit of a different version of him. There is a bit of a dark side in the comics that they do come up with, but really there's not a lot recognisable from what you've seen from the trailers. I can definitely say that people who are fans of the source material, there's a few sequences with the Sentry in it that they will be very excited about. There is a real level of authenticity that kind of comes on screen that I haven't shown any of, and I thought it looked really good on screen. Really good depiction, better than I thought it would be, which is good to see. I'm pretty sure the origins have kind of diverged a little bit, but it is very interesting to watch. And in that role is the actor Lewis Pullman. He has a very interesting persona on screen. He's got a few emotional moments in it, and opposite again Florence Pugh, there's a few sequences that I thought were really good. Fantastic even, just the way he kind of displays his emotions in it, I thought it was really good to see. But yeah, they're the real stars of it. As I said, Florence Pugh, probably the highlight in this, and it is a very interesting kind of plot, but it is kind of a motley crew just getting together and trying to kind of save the day, really. But the stakes in this are really quite high. There's a sequence in that where you, towards the end, where you're thinking, how are they going to get out of this, and how are they going to kind of solve this issue? And that's stakes that haven't really been in some of the more recent films. So it is good to see that. I will say there is two post-credit scenes in this. The first one is fun and enjoyable, kind of carries forth from the similar kind of elements in the film. The second is nearly like a short film. And it is really good, and it carries forth, without giving any spoilers, it kind of leads into what the new title of the movie actually really is. And there is a sequence in that shows some incoming new characters, and I think audiences are really going to get a kick out of it. So definitely wait for that post-credit scene, just right at the end. It's a bit like a short film, and it's probably the best post-credit scene they've had in years, I'll just say that. Is this movie as good as something like the Avengers? No, it's not. But it is a very enjoyable film, and it's definitely above average compared to what a lot of the other films have been. Definitely worth the price of admission. Definitely fun and enjoyable. It's not quite an Avengers, but is the best film that Marvel's released in quite a few years. I'll just say that. But aside from that, I'm about to head off. Definitely check out this film while you can in cinemas. Definitely see it on the big screen. Maybe even see it in IMAX too, like I did today. There's a few good sequences in that kind of display IMAX in all its glory. But I'm about to head off. I'll catch you guys at the next one. So long.
Elena, being a hero, there is no higher calling. Your sister understood something about that.
I should have come back for you.
No. That's just a fairy tale.
I was in high school when the Avengers came. Kind of strange that it's all over now. No one's coming to save the day.
I think we are. We can be the ones that are coming.
But you have the wrong people. We have all done bad things.
Look, I've been where you are. The past doesn't go away. So you can either live with it forever, or you can do something about it. I am a void. Look what you unleashed. You can't outrun the emptiness.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
We all have things that we regret.
But I have so many.
Elena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
We can't stop him alone. No one can. But we can find a way. Together.
Marvel Studios Thunderbolts.